Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today we're talking about week 19, how I have been on carnivore for 19 weeks. First of all, I feel great just because of the fact I can move around and I can get around the house without being in the boot. It gives me so much freedom. I'm feeling so much better. And I've been averaging between 4,000 to 5,000 steps each day as far as that goes. So I am feeling so much more encouraged just being able to do that. So I feel great because I'm able to move around. So that's like part of my excitement. It's like the big thing is being able to go a whole week with moving has been great. So that's that. As far as like energy level and stuff, I guess I'm feeling normal. I've had a few times where I've been tired, but again, after a long day, I'm tired the next. I have not tracked my food, which I have to be more strict on that because as I'm preparing to get to the point where I'm reintroducing food, following the autoimmune protocol, which I'm excited to be able to reintroduce food. Like eggs are like my first thing. So I'm really excited about that and just like counting down the number of days until I do my blood work and then start reintroducing food again. So for you that have new to my channel, I have been carnivore since the 1st of July, and I started doing an autoimmune protocol at the end of August because I found out I was at hypothyroidism and getting a test again in the next couple weeks. The doctor put me on an autoimmune protocol for 12 weeks, and that 12 weeks is coming up to an end where I will be able to start reintroducing food. And my next test is also testing this my thyroid again, but also testing the antibodies for Hashimoto's. So kind of nervous about that, but I'm excited to start reintroducing food. So kind of goes hand in hand. Anyway, so we're in week 19. I'm like still in shock that I've been doing this for so long. Now, it would have been easier if it was just carnivore and I didn't throw in this autoimmune protocol, but I'm still good. And my foot is out of the boot, so my movement, I'm feeling awesome as far as that goes. You can probably tell that it's just in my energy alone. I am feeling great. Now, as far as my goals, the only goals I've hit has been my sauna goal, and I've been using the sauna more often. So how about we just go into the results and I'll talk a little bit more about my backstory and what's been going on this week. Okay, so my results. Inches lost this last week. 1.7 inches. Which ironically, exact same amount as last week. As I had to double check my numbers because I'm like, wait, that's the same number as last week. So yes, 1.7 inches lost again. Weight gained 1.1 pounds. And if you've been following my journey, you've noticed the inches are much more noticeable and are much more of a steady than the weight. The weight fluctuates up and down. That's what I don't like using weight as, I don't think of it as a great indicator, but it is some type of form of measurement. And there are times where my weight goes up and inches go down, or weight goes down and inches go up. As long as something is happening, I'm happy. All right, now, yes, my weight has gone up 1 pound, 1.1 pounds. No big deal. I went down 2 last week. I can gain 1 back. I'm going down in inches. So I'm happy about that for last week's. Which also, with the inches going down, I put on a different size pants yesterday and they fit. Okay, that's probably another reason I'm really excited to do this video and share that, because I was able to go down a pant size. So happy about that. All right, so total, since I have been carnivore since July, total inches lost is 11.1 inches, which most of my inches have been in my, let's see, chest, stomach, and waist. And then next would be in my hips. So of course, that's the reason why my clothes are fitting better, right? Pounds. I am right at the 15-pound mark, that I've been down 15 pounds since July 1st. So I call that success. So those are my stats. Now, as I'm like adjusting my goals, as I'm doing more research about hypothyroidism and Hashimoto's, I'm finding, I heard different things about you need to be lifting weights. So I was starting to do the lifting weights, and that was one of my goals. Until the more research I found out, yes, lifting weights is good, but de-stressing and making sure you're doing some type of meditation is actually more important than the lifting weights. And you need to make sure you're focusing on relieving stress more. I'm like, oh, okay, that's one thing. And a couple of the videos I was watching was talking about, yeah, a lot of people, they don't feel that they're stressed, or they think that they can handle the stress. And I'm like, oh, that is so me. I so resonate with that. It's one of those things that I don't realize how stressed I am until I do some type of de-stressing or stretch and realize that how much tension I have. And here's the thing. Meditation is fine, and but I have a hard time staying on track with meditation. Even with breathing exercises, guided meditations, I have a hard time with that. Different people have recommended that I do yoga. Well, I can't stand, I'm sorry. If you love yoga, that's great. It is not for me. I cannot stand it. The whole time I'm in a yoga position and supposed to hold a position and work on my breathing, I'm thinking about all the other things I should be doing versus staying in this pose for 30 seconds or however long it is. So yoga actually stresses me out more than calms and relax. Then it's not a calm and relaxing thing for me. So I have been looking into, is it somatic exercises, where it's breathing and meditation along with movement. And there's a few positions you hold for short periods of time, but then you're doing movements. And so I've been doing research on that. I'm like, that is something I am willing to try, because that's something I can at least make it easy, roll out of bed and do. Just like my sauna, in order to stay accountable and do it on a regular basis, I knew I needed to have my sauna in my bedroom. When I ordered the sauna, I made sure that it would fit in my bedroom, or I can make it fit in my bedroom and move things around to make it fit. Because if it wasn't going to be convenient, I knew it wasn't going to work for me. So I had my sauna in my bedroom. Different people were like, oh, you should put it in the basement. Like, and I know I'm not going to run downstairs, turn the sauna on, come upstairs, get ready, go downstairs, get in the sauna, come upstairs, take a shower and get ready. That's too many steps for me to do something on a regular basis. So what do I can roll out of bed, turn the sauna on, roll back into bed, and wait for the sauna to heat up before I get in. And then from the sauna, go right in the shower across the hall. And that's much less work, many less steps than if I had it in the basement. So with these somatic exercises, I'm looking at going, it's the same thing. I can turn on this is what I did this morning. The last 2 days I've been turn on the sauna. As the sauna's heating up, I'm doing the somatic exercises, I'm doing the stretches and the movements, and then by the time that exercise is done, my sauna is warmed up and I'll get in the sauna. And that has been a nice, smooth transition for me. Now, I'm hoping that stays just as easy to do because they're not strenuous exercises. It's more meditation, breathing, and doing slight movements. And then I'm doing all these stretches and then getting in the sauna, and it's even more relaxing. So far that's worked for me. I hope that stays just as easy, because honestly, even going down and telling myself I'm going to lift weights twice a week was more difficult than I realized. Just the getting in the mindset to go downstairs and lift weights was the hardest part. Now, being in a boot made it a lot more difficult, and there's a lot more things I couldn't do. Where that's another thing with these somatic exercises, I am able to move through, do different movements that is helping with stretching my heel and not putting so much pressure on it. And so far I've only done very few exercises. I've only done actually it was 3 different workouts, and there was 2 that I had to skip because it was too much pressure on my ankle. But other than that, it's been a lot easier for me to handle that than even just honestly, it was more easy to do that and do those stretches than it was to go up and down stairs for my ankle. So that's what I'm going to be trying for this next month or so. So I'm going to stay with the sauna. I'm hoping to do twice as many. I'm hoping to move my goal up for the sauna, because that's also supposed to help with the hypothyroidism, with the coldness and the chills that I get. It helps regulate the body temperature and help with the circulation. And when I was reading more on that, like, that makes more sense why I enjoy going in the sauna, because with hypothyroidism, if I am working out, I don't tend to sweat. Where in the sauna, there's enough circulation that I will sweat. It's like, you guys, I could do high intensity workouts and not sweat, or just have just a little bit of dampness on my forehead. And I was thinking, oh, different people like drenched in sweat. I'm like, I don't understand. I've never had that happen. Well, now as I'm looking back, doing more research, part of that could be because of my thyroid being underactive. And I have honestly never really drenched in sweat. Has never happened, no matter how high intensity of a workout I have done. So that might be part of it. That's probably part of the reason I like the sauna, because after I'm in the sauna, my body temperature is regulated for a while. I'm not feeling, extreme cold. Usually my hands and feet are cold at times, my whole body is cold at times. And I'll be in a sweatshirt and people around me will be in t-shirts. I'm like, how can you be cold? I'm like, I just am. And I just have these days where I'm just cold. And I found out, I've been realizing the last couple weeks, the more I'm using the sauna, as the temperatures are getting colder outside, I'm using the sauna more to help regulate my heat and help warm my body. And I'm trying to stay in until I am sweating, and I try to be sweating for 5 or 10 minutes before I actually get out. So I've been using the sauna and being in my infrared sauna for probably at least 30 minutes. I set a timer, so I'm staying there for at least 30 minutes, but working myself to 40 or 45 if I'm not sweating by that 30-minute mark. All right, so I'm using the sauna more. I'm planning, my goal is to still close my exercise ring, since I'm adding those somatic exercises in. That'll help me with the exercise ring. I'm working towards my steps and raising my steps. I put a goal in my one app that I use for 5,000 steps. So it'll let me know if I hit my 5,000 steps in for a day. So since my range has been pretty much between 4,000 to 5,000, 6,000 on a few days, I'm hoping to have that 5,000 steps and then just increasing it each week as I'm healing, because the more I'm using my sauna and how I'm using the stretches, I should also be able to increase my steps. At least that's my thought on this. And I'm going to be tracking more of my food, as I haven't in the last week, and focusing more on my protein and just what I'm eating in general as far as my macronutrients and the number of calories, just so I have something to base off of as I'm starting to reintroduce food in a couple weeks. And I'm so excited that it's only a couple weeks away. I am just thrilled that I'm going to be starting with egg yolks, and that's been a suggestion on many different places. You can start with eggs, but it's egg yolks that you start with. As if people have sensitivities to eggs, it's typically the egg whites that they're sensitive to. So I'm doing more research on what to look for when reintroducing foods, as well as what foods to reintroduce at what times and different phases or timing. And it's mainly like one ingredient a week. So first week is I'm going to introduce egg yolks. But I already knew when I had to eliminate eggs, that was going to be the first thing I was most likely going to want to introduce. I am still missing my eggs. Can't wait to have eggs. And I really feel like eggs were my one food that I relied on to help me either get my protein or my fat for the day. And I didn't realize how much I relied on it until I really started struggling with the different cuts of meat and needing to get certain meats to meet certain fat and protein goals, and I didn't struggle with that when I had eggs in my diet. So I'm really looking forward to having eggs again. So I will be thrilled. That'll be another week. I will be thrilled when I'm able to introduce eggs. So I think that's really about it for this week. And I feel like it's been a roller coaster. October was really a roller coaster. November, I am excited for November to be over, mainly just to introduce so I can start eating more foods. I'm skipping Thanksgiving with family because there's too many people that have wanted or tried to make something that I could eat, and there was something in it that I couldn't have. And they're like, oh, like, what can you eat? Like, just don't worry about it, because it's not something that is going to be long-term. This is a short-term thing. And I'm tired of I'm not even making people feel bad, but they are feeling bad because they're going out of their way. They're trying to make something that I can have. And there's something in one of the ingredients that's on my no-no list for the autoimmune protocol. And it's a struggle. And they're like, well, what can you eat? There's not a whole lot, honestly. And I have had struggle. Honestly, if I couldn't have bacon, I don't know how I would have done this, because I was really struggling with getting enough fat and proteins in. And then when I got laid up, I was just relying on the kids to just bring me food. I'm hungry. And I haven't been tracking. I haven't gotten back to it this week that well. But I am so looking forward to being able to add more food, that I'm focusing more on where I'm at now, and my energy levels have been lower. And people have asked, why do you think that is? Well, part of it, I think it has to do with not getting enough fats and not being able to eat enough to get the proteins. And I think that's part of my major thing. And most people will just add chicken. I'm like, there's so much chicken that has added byproducts that I can't have that's specifically listed on the autoimmune protocol that are no-nos. And you don't realize how many fillers are in a lot of the chicken, and even just to make them look okay. So I've really struggled, like lunch meats. I haven't found a single lunch meat that I can have because there's added fillers and sugars and all that crap. So it's really been interesting. It is a very strict, the autoimmune protocol is very strict, but it is only for a short period of time. And it has just different results from different doctors have said it is very strict. Most people can't stick with it. But the nice part about it is that as you're reintroducing foods, because you've took so many foods away, you reintroduce them one at a time, you can more easily identify what triggers you. So that's what my focus is. I can stick with it. I can stick with it when I know it's going to help me identify the foods much easier as I'm reintroducing them. So that's where my thinking is, like, eggs better not be a problem for me. If they are, I don't know what I'm going to do. But so be praying for me. I don't think it's going to be a problem, but if it is, then I'm really going to struggle, because I'm really wanting my eggs back, guys. Really wanting my eggs back. All right. Well, I'm going to wrap it up. I feel like I'm rambling. So that is all for this week and my results and where I'm at and what I'm looking forward to, as I'm like, we're ending November, and I'm mainly just looking forward to getting my blood tests done and getting my antibodies tested and starting to reintroduce foods. And that is my big excitement, is it's coming up. So I'm doing more research, because if I would have done this research a couple months ago, I would have been longing for these foods even more. So we will be back next week that'll be week 20. All right. Thank you, and we will see you next time.